move to smaller sites. I'm loving it. Every single thing that you said you've done are all the things that if people ever come to me asking for some help, they're all the things I say to them. You're saying the things that you've done exactly what you should do there. So absolutely fucking hats off to you there. I really do. I'm not patronising you at all. I'm metaphorically, or you, whatever you want to call it, I'm tipping my hat to you, because that is an absolutely fantastic thing to do. Yeah, 9-6, you do know you're in a good spot, but he was a regular. So I was a little bit confused that regulars are opening 9-6 suited under the gun. We're going to call here just because we're getting decent pot odds. Don't expect to be good, of course, but in good odds to draw, and Lorso's in the pot, and I think Loft's going to be bluff catching here a lot of the time. I'm just going to disappoint him by just not bluffing. Wow, he wasn't bluff catching. He just basically made a weak turn probe and gave up, which is interesting. So that's something we can note. Here we're going to value bet versus vet. So we're going to go weak turn probe P with overcards versus missed C bet, then give up. Okay, that's going to be useful too, because now, I mean, I didn't think I could bluff there because I presumed he was going to be bluff catching with like a weak jack or pocket, you know, some pocket pairs that weren't sets. When he turns up taking that line, it means we can absolutely try to bluff him on the river sometimes now, because that would have been a great time to just run a bluff with my 8-7 if I knew he had hands like King Queen in his range. Then obviously betting with 8-7 there makes a ton of sense. So yeah, this is the importance of notes, and that note in itself is a little bit useful, but when we can like combine that with other notes in the future, what our notes eventually become then is reads on how somebody approaches poker, and once we can get inside their mind on what their overall approach to poker is, we can then start to really turn the screw on them. We're not going to complete our 5-8 suited here. I understand the temptation, but it's just way too weak. Yeah, Gadget, fuck your life when you were doing that, sir. I just don't understand how people can do that for any kind of pleasure over a long period of time. Could I just fire up 8 tables of Zoom, do it for an hour just to see what it's like, just for the experience of doing it? Yeah, of course I could. Would I want that to be my poker grind every day, doing that 6, 7, 8 hours a day? Okay, not in a million years. I would rather have a job digging ditches. I'd rather have a job just sweeping the streets than have that as my life. This table 2 now it's getting worse and worse, so we're actually going to check the lobby now and see if we can't find a better table, because sure, yeah, we have Ian, but in my opinion, he's not a big enough fish to justify staying at this table, and now Ian's actually even left, so we'll have to just battle that with 3 regulars. Couldn't be less interested in doing that, so we're going to pull the lobby up, and we're going to try and find a better game. Oh, and we've instantly found one. So we're going to stand up. Our friend Ferg is playing another 30NL table right now. So we are going to leave Histon. We are going to join Ferg. We're hopefully going to have a fun last 45 minutes or so of the stream. So here we go. Again, for those of you who are observant and look at people's bankrolls on Twitch, please don't think I'm the sort of guy that plays like 30NL, 50NL off a like 10 to 20 blind bankroll. I got burned several years ago by having too much money on a poker site. The poker site went bust. I lost around $3,000. So now I keep very little money on poker sites, on poker clients. I rarely keep, because I don't. Oh, this table keeps popping up. This is a shitty little bug on the Sky software that does my head in. You have to stand up to fucking leave. Can I not just fucking exit? Jesus Christ. Thank you. Now it's letting me do it. With my methods, I don't need to have more than like 10 or 12 buy-ins in my account because it's just spread across. It's only ever going to be spread most across 4 tables, usually against less than 4 tables. So there's absolutely no reason to have like 50 buy-ins in my actual poker client. So I have like a 3-tier system. I have a poker client which I've got the least amount of money in. I have a PayPal account which I have a similar amount of money in, and then I have a bank account that is like a holding bank account that I have the biggest part of my roll in. So I have, let's say, anything between like 500 to 700 on Sky. I have another 500 to 700 on PayPal, and then maybe I have another 1200 or so in my bank savings account, and that's all my net poker roll. And what I tend to do is when the poker client gets up to say £700, I'll withdraw say 150 to PayPal. When PayPal gets around £700, I withdraw 150 to the holding account. When the holding account gets above £1,000, that's when I'll withdraw my wages, and that's when I'll pay myself. Just call with the aces here to keep licked in the pot and to keep lots in the pot. So that's how it works with me. That's my method for bankroll management and paying myself a wage. So yeah, I just thought I'd better explain that. You don't need to know it, but I don't want people thinking, wow, this guy's running a stream, he's trying to play the role of a poker educator and he's playing with a fucking 10 buy-in bankroll. Don't want you to think that's what I'm doing, because it's absolutely not the truth. We have a new follower, Clarity. Hello there, Clarity. A very well respected Redditor. We're just going to check fold here because he's just going to have a 10 here just so often. I just don't see what he's bluffing with. And again, same reason before. I don't want to call here and have to call a huge river bet. We slow played our races, it went wrong. Never mind. Really never mind there. Yep, Clarity, don't be coming to this stream to expect too much high level strategy talk, sir. It's very much a social stream where I hopefully enjoy more having like a social chat with people. Obviously there's some poker discussed, and we do discuss poker, but we discuss other things too. I don't really want it to be just like a longer version, a longer live version of like my poker videos. It's definitely something more than that. I want it to be social. Like yesterday, for example, we talked about tea. Last night we talked about football and other sports. It's very much just hopefully going to be like a group where people can just get together, get to know each other, and just enjoy each other's company, like the people used to do in the olden days. So Johnny, thank you very much for your question. Why do I play on Sky? I play on Sky because it has some of the worst online poker players in the planet playing there. They're the easiest players to make money from. I play poker for 2 reasons: pleasure and money. I have no real interest in playing against lots of other good players and testing myself. I couldn't give less of a shit about that. I want to log in, I want to enjoy poker, and I want to make money. And Sky gives me the best opportunity to do that right now. So that's why I choose to play on Sky. Just going to call here. Try and dodge some hearts and things. Just going to keep calling. He doesn't have to have a flush here. We can absolutely have the best hand. Really don't like calling this river, but he's either got a flush or we win here, I think. Unfortunately he had the flush, so fuck our lives a little bit, but well, yeah, whatever. Not really too asked about that. You were getting ready for a supernova run. Yeah, that's kind of the addiction of Sky for people. That, I mean, Clarity's here now and he's probably going to be bare testament to this. I drew a rather crass analogy in one of my videos the other week where I likened PokerStars players, and particularly Zoom players, and we're going to set mine here to hopefully flop a set against Licked, which we do. So we'll continue this point in a moment, Gadget, because I think it's an important point that I want to make. We have to raise here. We're going to be missing way too much value if we don't raise. It's a big pot out there, and if someone's got a set of sevens or a set of kings, then it's just going to be damned unlucky for us. In we go. And we're going to hope to hold. Yes, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We do like that. So yeah, getting back to the point, I made a rather crass comparison. I compared PokerStars players and Zoom players in particular to heroin addicts, which in hindsight I wish I hadn't done. Yeah, I did it to needle and to troll a little bit, but it was a crass analogy. I probably shouldn't have done it, and it got a very bad reaction, and probably rightly so. But that's kind of, in all seriousness, that's kind of how I see PokerStars. I see them like they're just dealing out an addiction to people, in my opinion. That's what they do at Supernova. They have people chasing like Platinum and Supernova, playing tons and tons of volume and just contributing shitloads of rake whilst not actually making very much for themselves. I mean, in my opinion, I don't want any poker site to be making more money for my grind than me, and by that I mean I don't want my rake to be higher than my overall net profit. I want my net profit to be higher than my rake. Otherwise, I'm just kind of working for the site. I don't want to work for the site. I want to work for me. I'm working in partnership with the site. I'm not working for the site. And I think that's kind of what happens on Stars. And yeah, the analogy I drew was piss poor. In terms of like it was quite offensive to people. But I do genuinely believe that Stars are creating, they're getting people addicted to games that aren't necessarily good for the players but are very good for Sky, and I don't think that's good. And if I can discourage people from doing that, I will absolutely try to do it. Do you watch Premier League, Reg? I mean, a Newcastle supporter, right? Shit for you, isn't it? What a shit life you must have on a Saturday afternoon, being a Newcastle supporter. Yeah, I do watch the Premier League. I used to love football. I used to be a hardcore Barrow AFC supporter. It's my local team. I used to go home and away with them, but then football just got too expensive. I mean, I was paying like £15 to get in and watch Barrow football. I was paying £35 to get me, my wife, my two sons in to watch, at the time, 6-tier football, and I just like, fuck it, I just don't want to pay that anymore. I mean, I'm paying I'm paying £35, so 6-tier footballers can have the fucking life of Riley and just like not have a job, and it's just not right. When I started watching Barrow, the players were the painters and decorators. They worked in the local shipyard. They worked in the car plants. They had jobs because they needed to have jobs, and they were a lot better than the shit that they had playing for them. They were paying like significantly over the national average income for being a 6th-tier footballer, and in principle I just couldn't buy into that anymore, so I just stopped going. I just thought, this is too much, it's not right, I'm not going to contribute to this anymore. So yeah, I stopped watching a lot of football, and I don't really like it anymore. Football rewards cheating. It encourages cheating too much. I mean, when I hear people like Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville going on Sky about he's earned that penalty, he's entitled to go down there, or he's been clever, when basically someone's just fucking dived. I'm not asked about watching that. I don't want to watch sports where cheating isn't just condoned, it's actually fucking encouraged. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch sports like rugby league, snooker, cricket, games that are like full of integrity. So yes, I do watch football, but I tend to only watch when Liverpool play now, which is like my Premier League side, and sometimes watch highlights programmes. Not always, I don't even watch the highlights programmes sometimes. But yeah, I do have more than a passing interest in football. I'll get to your question in a moment, Clarity. We're just going to raise our Ace Jack suited first, and then yeah, I'll explain my poker philosophy in more detail to you. I think you already have a good idea of what it is though. No, poker's not just fun. It is, I need to make money at poker. If I'm not making money at poker, then I need to go and this is how my life works. I am a support worker for gentlemen with learning disabilities. It's a really, really rewarding job, but the pay is awful. It's like £7 something an hour. It's dreadful. I've just recently got a new job with a new company, and my pay is going to go up to £9 an hour, so that's quite significant. That's a result. But for the last who knows how long, I've been pushing low paid jobs on a part-time basis, and then topping up my income with poker. So I need to make a profit at poker. It's not just a social thing for me. I absolutely need to be making money. I need to be making around £200 to £300 per month to just keep my head above water in terms of like real life stuff. If I can make anything more than that, I can start making some savings, and when I have my good months, I can make some real big savings. So no, poker's not just a recreational thing to me, but it has to be fun. I don't want poker to feel like a job. I've been there and I've done that. I've ground Zoom. I've grinded Zoom in the past. I've grinded. I'm just going to call here versus Licked, because I think we're going to have the best hand enough of the time. And again, we're just going to call, because I just think, yeah, he's going to have a jack sometimes. But I think he's going to be bluffing a decent amount too. And yeah, oh, unfortunately we chop, which is unfortunate, but whatever, I think we made a solid call there. As a poker's got to be more than just recreational for me, but it has to be fun, because it just bores me. I've done the whole 14 table in iPoker for rate back thing. I've done all those things, and yeah, I can do them for a while, but then I just lose motivation. And I have enough time in my life to play poker, getting on for 100 hours per month, 80 to 100 hours per month. But I've been recently, the last few months I was playing at 888 and what have you. The games were shit, and I was finding myself really struggling to play 60 hours, and poker stopped being fun. So I've just stripped it right back, and I've gone right back to my bum hunting ways, playing 2 to 4 tables against really bad players. And I know that if I put 80 plus hours per month in on Sky Poker, I'm a favourite to make at least £500 per month, if not more, usually more, and that's enough for me. That's more than enough, so I'm really happy with that. So that's just what I'm going to do. I fully accept that most people don't buy into that and need to get different things with poker, but that's just me. That's where I'm at with it, and that's what I do. And it just works for me. It really just works for me, which is why I'm happy to do these streams. And I'm not really that interested in monetizing the stream. If somehow I make money off the stream long term, then fantastic. If I don't, I'm really not asked. I don't care. I make a little bit of money from the coaching, just helping some limited players get on on the road to being a profitable player. So make some money from that. Maybe anything between like $200 and $400 per month from that usually. We got to defend the Ace-10 suited here. It's just too strong. And yeah, I just like to have lots of different little income streams to make a little bit of money making some videos aimed at rec players on Grindr School. I like having lots of little different income streams. My overall net income is probably above national average, but I have lots of different things that contribute to that, and that's just how I like to live my life. Right, Shomsy, you're saying you can target bad players on Zoom, and you're right, you can. The problem is there's just not fucking very many of them, and you don't see them very often. Of course you can target them. When you see a bad player at your Zoom table, you can widen your ranges, you can look to play pots with them. My issue with it is that we don't see those bad players at our table often enough to make it worthwhile. Whenever I play Zoom and I have my HUD running, I mean, I can go, you know, upwards of 10 fast folds, 10, 12, 15 fast folds, and never see anyone that is could even be close to be described as a fish. I don't want to do that. If I played 1,000 hands an hour, but only 100 of those hands are played under any kind of profitable conditions, i.e. with players at the table that are losing at a high enough loss rate to cover the rake, then what's the point? What's the point in playing 1,000 hands when 900 of them are being played in break-even situations where we end up losing to the rake? It just doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. Maybe I'm not good enough to do that, both mentally, and maybe my poker game maybe isn't good enough. Who knows? But if I was to play 100,000 hands 4 table in Zoom, I'd be surprised if I was anything more than a 2 big blind 100 winner. And I don't want to play poker regularly where my win rate's 2 big blinds. It just wouldn't do it for me. It really wouldn't do it for me. It wouldn't hold my attention. It wouldn't motivate me to log on to, oh, let's go and play 1,000 hands of Zoom. Let's go through fucking all sorts of incredibly tough decisions, gut-wrenching downswings, just to hopefully make $10 plus rate back at the end of it. Not interested. Really, really not interested in that. But I accept that for people like Clarity, it's absolutely what he wants to do. He enjoys the challenge of all that, so it's great for him. I respect him. He's clearly a very thoughtful player. I don't like his methods, but I understand why he chooses to do it, because that's what poker is to him. It's clearly something that's different to me. We're going to 3-bet bluff here versus the loft. And this table again has gone quite sour. This is what typically happens in my grind. We open, we start tables, we get in good games. We hopefully mop up some of the fish's money, and then when it gets like this, as soon as Licked leaves, and I might even leave now because Licked is a fish, but is he enough of a fish to justify me staying at the table? Maybe he is, just because we're deep. If we weren't deep, if Licked only had like 20 quid now, there's a decent chance I would just leave this table. We're c-betting here because we have like backdoor flush draw, and we can hit an ace sometimes at the best hand, and we don't pick up any equity on the turn. If the turn was like a queen of clubs, king of clubs, any kind of club, I'll maybe continue. I think, do we have enough showdown value here? What's his range? I think his range here is going to be like maybe like pocket queens some of the time, pocket 8s, pocket 9s. Can we make them fold? I don't think we can. I think we just have enough showdown value to check back here. I think we're going to lose most of the time, but yeah, we actually won, which is fine. And those are the kind of spots that Clarity is going to play way better than me. I'm not really that interested in playing too many spots like that against regulars. I'd be very interested to see what Clarity thought of my line there, because I'm not particularly comfortable in those spots. So if you are still there, Clarity, and you did see that hand, the ace-6 suited hand, please do give me some feedback on how you would have played the hand and what you thought of my line. Yeah, I completely agree with you. There's way too much money in football. Alex, way too much money in football. I think it's Alex, sorry, got confused with names. How much time do I dedicate to studying my game? Not so much anymore. I prefer to just play. When I was learning poker, I put absolutely tons of time into it. I was very lucky that I was playing poker during the boom years, and there was tons and tons of players all trying to learn. There was a UK poker firm called Eat My Stack. There were some very good players on there who were happy to share a lot of information, and they helped me get better. They sweated me quite a lot for free. I was very lucky. There's a player called Pobbolero that Clarity may be aware of, not depending. I don't know how long he's been playing, but there's a player called Pobbolero, very good, one of the best mid-stakes players back at the time on PokerStars. He was playing 200 nil and he made Supernova. He was at the time, I mean, his game slipped a little bit now, but at the time he was without question one of the best mid-stakes players in the world. He helped me a lot with my game, and there were some other players who were slightly worse than him but still very good who helped me. So I put an awful lot of time into working on my game back then, but now not very often. Very rare I watch much poker stuff, because my game's in a spot where it's fine for what I wanted to do. If I felt that I was losing my edge against bad players, or if bad players were catching up with me, I would put a spurt on again. I would absolutely go back and do some hardcore studying and either improve to a point where I could make a lot of money again, or just think, well, maybe the game's passed me by, I have to find something else to do. But I don't think that's ever going to happen at the stakes I play. I don't think micro stakes poker will really ever truly die. I think 50 now might die at some point, but I don't think, can't ever see like 20 now, 25 now dying. There's always going to be enough people depositing and playing those limits who are bad to make those games always stay quite good. On sites like Sky, maybe not on PokerStars, because 25 0 Zoom's a tough gig. So maybe not on PokerStars, but on sites like Sky, I'm presuming I'm going to be able to do what I'm doing now for years and years to come. You don't have to donate, by the way, Shomsy. I wasn't in any way encouraging people to donate there. People do donate. The donate button's there. I'm happy if somebody uses it, but I don't care if they don't. Really don't care. It's there just in case somebody wants to give me some money, which I'm obviously going to be happy to accept. But that isn't why I'm running the stream. It's just there because everyone has one, really. I'm hoping eventually to maybe just charge a very small nominal subscription fee, because If I'm providing a stream that people are enjoying watching, I don't think it's unfair for me to maybe charge a couple of pounds per month. If people don't want to pay it, then fine, that's absolutely fine. I would back away from it again. But if I felt I could perhaps make another $100 a month from maybe getting 40 or 50 people to pay a $2 subscription fee or something like that, it's not something that I'm dead against, but that's for a long time in the future. But now I just really want to learn. I just want to build a community, and just for all the reasons I said earlier, it helps me put my grind in. It helps motivate me. If you think, yeah, I'm going to start a stream, then I know there's no point streaming for just half an hour, 45 minutes. It helps me put hours in, and it's plus EV for me just for that. It's going to make me more money over the month just because I'm going to be playing longer hours. We called here because we want to play pots with licked. We're completely bricked, but we do have some backdoor equity, so we're going to make a bet here. How old are you, Gadget? I like the cut of your jib. I really like it. I remember the miners' strikes. They were rough times. I remember the shipyard strikes around my way too. They were rough times. Don't want to get too political, but Margaret Thatcher, she can really just go and fuck a duck for me. The day she died, I made a jelly and had some ice cream. Going to continue bluff. We're going to triple barrel here now against licked. Because I just don't think he's going to have a king very often and take this line. And if he wants to look me up with an 8 or something, well, fair play to him. But I just don't think he'll have a king too often. If he donks here, we're going to have to fold, and who cares? If he checks, we're going to make a round of £5 or £6 bet and try and make him fold something that isn't a king. But as he's donked, we're just going to fold and not care. Shomsy, I only play Zoom at the moment because I'm low stakes. My win rate is decent. Yeah, the regs aren't great at 2 and 5-0, but they're still regulars. And if they're all just there, just like breaking even, we need quite a lot of net losers in the game to beat the rake. If it's just a bunch of regulars, sure, they're not good, sure, you're going to have an edge against them. But even allowing for all of that, it doesn't make for like a super fun grind. And this table 2's just gone really horrible now, so it hasn't really worked out for us, this table 2. I was talking that much, I didn't realise Ferg had left even. So we're just going to remove table 2 in a moment and hopefully find a better table for the last 20 minutes or so of the stream. So yeah, you're right, the 2-0 and 5-0 are very beatable. But my contention is that if you're beating 5-0 on PokerStars, you're going to beat 10-0 and 8-8-8. So you may as well play 10-0 and 8-8-8, assuming that you rolled for it. Because you're just going to have a higher hourly rate, and poker's all about making the most of your hourly rate. So yeah, just because you're winning at a game, it doesn't mean to say there aren't still some better options for you, and that you should be looking into. I like the river check back with the A6, which is good to consider bluffing at it. Yeah, I covered the 7-7-9. I wasn't sure whether to bluff or not. I wasn't sure if he would fold them on the river. Because when we check back the turn, we're not exactly repping huge strength, are we? So I think we give him quite an easy bluff catch on the river, which is why I kind of just gave up there a little bit. Because if I thought I could get him to fold 7s through 9s with a decent frequency, I would have absolutely made the bluff. I was kind of thinking we couldn't get him to fold them. If you think we can get him to fold them, then yeah. Obviously then it makes a lot of sense to bet again. So thank you very much for the feedback. You're kind of confirming what I was thinking. I didn't verbalise it very well throughout the hand. It's quite hard to get words out in spots that you're finding quite difficult. It's quite hard to like try and talk your way through them at the same time as think your way through them. So I didn't do the best job of explaining what I was doing, but yeah, you've kind of encapsulated most of what I was thinking. So here we are now. By the way, we're going to tag Smithy for the time being as a tag fish type player. The orange is my tag fish type. He's not a good regular, but he's not a fish either, so he's going to go into that. And then you can see now, we just no green at that table, no blue. Absolutely no reason to be there. Wow, we are now up to 28 followers in the stream. That is 28 viewers. That is my new record, guys. Thank you ever so much for helping me achieve it. If there's 28 people in there watching, I would absolutely love a few more follows, please, guys. There's lots of names in there watching. Belenda, Ted, Sveto, Fat Fish Food. That's a good name. I like that. Orc. Yeah, there's lots of names in there. I'm really loving seeing the names. It's fantastic. It's beautiful to see. Please do give me a follow before the end of the stream. And what we are going to do now, there's plenty of people in there. We are going to... In fact, no, we'll do it next time. I'm going to find out this afternoon how to actually control my giveaways. Because I have had permission from the people at PokerTube and Poker VIP to give away some free bankrolls. But what I want to do, I want to just give it away to the people that are interested in winning it. So I'm going to figure out tonight, it would have been a good time with 28 people in to try and give some away. But there's no point having people winning who aren't asked about winning. So we'll hopefully do that later. But yes, really 31 viewers now. That is absolutely fantastic, guys. Thank you ever so much. It's really, really gratifying that we're managing to get so many viewers and hopefully hold people's attention for so long. It's just a shame I'm going to have to stop in about 20 minutes because yeah, I'm really quite pumped by it all. So please do give me a follow. Very much appreciated. See if we can find any good tables to just finish the stream off with. Traffic is quite low at the moment, unfortunately. I think we'll just put some Omaha on to finish the stream off. There's a 20 pence Omaha game running that we can get involved with just for fun. My Omaha game is moderate at best, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to hold my own at 10 pence, 20 pence blinds on a site like Sky. So yeah, we'll give it a whirl. Oh wow, we have the Lawson now at... Wow, he was fishy enough at the no limit tables. Who knows how fucking fishy it's going to be at a PLO table. Do you ever use HUDs? When I play on sites that support HUDs, yes. When I play on 888, PokerStars, Full Tilt, whatever, yes, of course I use a HUD. But I've played with that HUD for so long now. Before moving to Sky and Unibet, I played pretty much exclusively Snap on 888 for 7 or 8 months, and there's no HUD support there, so I'm comfortable playing without a HUD. And I'm comfortable playing on sites that don't support HUDs because usually them sites have less regulars on them. The lack of a HUD dissuades enough regulars to not play. There are still regulars on there, people like me who are comfortable playing without a HUD, so I'm not saying that there's no regulars, but the overall game quality on sites that doesn't have HUD support is significantly better. I'm thinking Bovada, I'm thinking Unibet, I'm thinking Sky. Now I believe that Hold'em Indicator works on Sky. I've been told by a few people it works. I'm expecting that there are some regulars that are using it. Sky say they don't permit the use of any third-party software, so I respect that. I have no interest in using it. If there's regulars that are using it and gaining an advantage from me, well, so be it. But for me, it just doesn't work. I don't want to do it. Thank you very much for the follow, Johnny. Very much appreciate it, sir. Thank you ever so much. I hope to see you around more and more. That is a new record for me, Tom. It's absolutely fantastic. This is improving and getting more followers and more watchers much quicker than I expected, and I'm very, very, very pleased with it. But yeah, but to go back to HUDs, I'm probably at a disadvantage against some regulars on Sky that are using them, but I don't want to use them. I don't want to have my bankroll confiscated for a start. But it's not just that. It's cheating, isn't it? If people are using them, so if I'm using a HUD when other people aren't, I'm not really playing fair. And yeah, that maybe is naive of me. It is naive of me. I would like the opportunity to be able to track my results. I'm not going to squeeze here with my 2 aces because my side cards are horrendous. We're just going to call and see a flop, play a flop in position. I'd love a way to be accurately track my results. I'd love to just be able to import all my hands into a database and review the end of the month. I'd love to be able to do that and just not have a live HUD running. I wouldn't give a shit. Unfortunately, I've just got some really shitty method of hopefully trying to manage my hourly, but it requires a lot of myself inputting the data, and it's not as accurate as I'd like it to be. I'm just going to fold here now. There's very little chance we're going to be ahead there. Yeah, thank you very much, Gadget. I am going to ask the guys at Poker VIP this afternoon if they can help me make it work. So what it's doing at the minute is just picking up anyone who's in the chat who's chatted and not said the keyword. They've just been chatting away, and I want to do it where I can just type a keyword in, so only those that are interested in winning the bankroll can then get involved, type the keyword, and it's only those guys that have a chance of winning. Right now I'm not sure how to do that. I've been shown once, but either what I've been shown isn't working, or I haven't remembered how to do it properly. So yeah, we're not going to do it again today, but hopefully on tonight's stream we might be able to do it, because hopefully then I've figured it out more. Right, I can pot here and get more than 25% of my stacking, so we're going to do it. I fully accept that my hand is now face up, but whatever. I think calling there will be a big mistake. Now someone's trying to telephone me, which is quite frustrating. I've actually no idea where the fuck my phone is, but I'll ring it back in a moment. We're going to win the stream in approximately 10 minutes anyway, so whoever it is ringing, I'm sure they can wait for 5 minutes. We have another follower, Trex1278. Thank you ever so much for following. I hope to see you around a lot in future. I am trying to build a fun microstakes poker community here, and the more people come back, the more the chat's going to flow naturally. I'm not going to have to. When I first started, I was kind of almost begging people to use the chat feature. Hopefully, the more people that join the stream regularly, the more the chat will just flow naturally, like it is now, and I won't have to like look really desperate. Come on, guys, please chat to me, sort of thing. So thank you ever so much. Really do appreciate it. This is growing faster than I could have hoped, and I'm really pleased with that. I think we should play without a HUD until we feel competent at using it. Yes and no. We think we're not going to become competent using it if we're never using it, if that makes sense. So we have the nutful house here, but obviously we lose to quads, so he just bets 20 on the end, and we can raise fold here, because I don't think he's ever going to raise back without quads. If he raises again here, he's just going to have quads and we're just going to lose. I've no idea what the hell he's just done that with. I'm going to continue value betting R9 against Big Hawk. It's a bit thin. I'd rather bet the turn and check back the river than check back the turn and just like call the river and just guess at what's happening. Yeah, you're definitely right there with how people misinterpret stats, and I've coached plenty of people that they've actually got a HUD running and then they never actually use it past VPIP and PFR. So I'll be watching people on video and they'll be making plays, and I'll be stopping them and saying, why did you make that play? And they won't know, and they're like, you're not using your HUD. I mean, I've watched tons and tons of people who've had HUDs running on video reviews, training sessions, coaching sessions with me, and they then actually haven't once referred to their HUD during the session. They've had a cursory glance now and again to people's VPIP and PFR, but I'll ask things like, what's this guy's fold 2 turn barrel? And they won't know, and they won't have looked for it. So I mean, if you're not going to actually use your HUD to extrapolate the stats that you need to extrapolate, then it's a waste of time. It really is. And lots and lots of people have HUDs running and they may as well not bother having them running. That's that for sure. Yeah, it doesn't bother me not using a HUD. Yeah, and I'd rather HUDs just didn't exist. I'd rather HUDs didn't exist and then PokerSites allow you to have third-party software running that doesn't track things in real time, but lets you import everything at the end of a session, so you can just accurately track your wins and losses, and then go ahead and do some work on yourself in your database to figure out what hands are making you money, what hands are losing you money, that kind of thing. That's what I'd like. I think that'd be a reasonable compromise. Phone will be down the sofa next to the remote. I don't think it is actually. I think it's up in the bay window near the hub and my landline. I think that's where it's at. I am going to go and check it very soon because the wife's finishing work in 5 minutes, so this stream isn't going to go for much longer, but it's certainly been the best stream yet, and that was a mistake there. I should have 3-bet licked. I wasn't concentrating. So yes, I think what we're going to do now, guys, is we are going to sit out next hand at both of our tables, and we're going to call it a day for this session. We've been going for, I think, around 2 hours now, have we? 2 hours 3 minutes. Thank you ever so much to everyone that's come along this morning, joined in and helped keep the chat going. It really is. It's very, very pleasing to see the stream growing so quickly. And it's starting to get a nice feel to it. People are starting to get to know each other. It can only grow. It can only get better. And the best way to make it get better is, wow, not quite sure what's happened to my picture quality here at the end of the stream. Just looking at it now, it's gone fucking awful. So I'm not quite sure what's happening there. Maybe my internet's just dropping off slightly. Who knows? Hopefully it's not always going to be like that. Something to look at for the next stream. Yeah, well, thank you very much for getting involved. You are making it a pleasure for me to do this, and it can only get better. It can only grow for us all. The more people get involved, the more people are going to stick around. I think an active chat box is key to having a good stream. I'm only part of it. You guys are definitely part of it too, and that isn't patronising bullshit guff. I genuinely do believe that and mean it. If I was only getting watched by 4 or 5 guys and there was no chat, I would soon lose interest in doing this. The fact that more and more people are beginning to watch and more people are getting involved in the chat box is absolutely fantastic, and hopefully together we can continue to grow it and we can create something quite special. But for now, we are almost finished. The Pot Limit Omaha table is over, and we've got one more hand to play before our blinds on the No Limit Hold'em table. So we had a little look at how we've done for the session. I think we started the session on £677, I think, and we've now got 597 plus 80 for argument's sake. That's 677 plus 30 there. Yeah, so we've made around 20 odd pounds on the stream this morning, which is really quite pleasing too. It's nice to earn while you're having fun. So overall it's been a good session. I will be withdrawing something from this bankroll soon. We're getting towards the upper limits of where I like it to be. So don't be surprised if you see me next time you stream and you see my bankroll being back down at around £500. Don't think I've had a particularly bad losing session. It's just very likely that I've withdrawn. Because as I said earlier, I don't like keeping too much money on PokerSites. I just don't think we need to. I think it's a bad risk. I'm just going to bet really big for value on the river here. We don't get it through. We don't get a call. And that's going to be it, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I will be back this evening. I think there's a Sky Poker television program on tonight where they show live footage of a two £50, sorry 50 pence, sorry 25 pence, 50 pence cash tables that start 200 blinds deep. Depending on what time my wife goes to bed, I may try and get on some of those tables, try and get myself on TV, and hopefully have lots of people in the stream watching. If I can't start my stream until quarter to 11 o'clock, that won't happen. If I can start it around 10 PM, that might happen. But either way, I'll be back tonight from around anything between 10 and 11 PM. So I hope some of you can join me. Thank you ever so much for watching. Until later, have a good day and take care.